Welcome to Offline, a podcast about different creators or different professionals that work within music, arts, and content creation. Tonight we have a very, very special guest, a long-standing friend of mine, Scotty Wartooth. Please welcome this absolutely gorgeous hunk of a man. Hello, Scotty. How are you doing today? How are you?
Pretty good.
And for those of you, those that maybe have been living under a rock and are not familiar with your content and what you do, tell them a little bit about you.
So, I'm Scotty Wartooth, known as the TikTok Jesus. I've been on TikTok for the past about 5 years now, I think. Started in 2019. Mostly grew during the lockdown. All started by getting bullied by my friends in dressing as Jesus for TikTok, and there's me with the ums and ahs there, but.
Just because we were talking about it.
Yeah, it just took off quite well. It was my Jesus stuff started at Comic-Con originally. Just a case of you should do Jesus. You got the long hair and the beard. Just me, just like, no, I want to do more serious stuff. It's the wrong time and place, whatever. And eventually, just sort of gave in after about a year. Like, fine, I'll do it. And then
I think the audio's cut out.
What's the situation with the language on this stream?
Oh, you can say whatever you'd like.
Okay, good, because the bandies in Cradle of Filth is quite well known for their band shirt that says on the back, "Jesus is a cunt." That became a bit of a meme because of a Jesus guy at Bloodstock Festival who was seen like there was a photo of him like arms crossed with somebody with a t-shirt of.
I think that we've got the audio cut again.
That happened. He had a photo as well. He had it posted on like every social media platform the band had. Sparked that off for a while, and then that was 2017. Come to TikTok in 2019. Same story again. Getting pushed to doing Jesus stuff, and finally gave in. Actually worked. Blew up a little bit over the lockdown, like I mentioned, and then eventually came a bit more of the LGBTQ plus representation. I can't remember which year this was, but it.
Sorry, just 1 minute. I think we have some technical difficulties with
comes
audio.
To the end of. Sorry?
We've got some technical difficulties with audio. It keeps cutting out.
Oh.
It seems like it's peaking.
Sorry?
It seems like it's peaking.
Peaking? Hang on, I could turn my mic down a little bit. Like that, perhaps, or?
Keep talking. If it happens again, I'll let you know.
Blah 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 blah.
What? And then LGBTQIA representation.
Yeah, it was quite a simple thing, really. So it came to the end of the month, and I just couldn't have a notice. Like, everyone was taking the pride flags out of the pictures, like as soon as it wasn't Pride Month anymore. And I just thought, you know what, I could leave it in there a day or two. I'm in no rush. And it was just an onslaught of like really bigoted comments, like, take that pride flag out, it's not Pride Month anymore. And I just thought, like, you know what, the more you guys complain, the
we've got to cut again.
One time I put the trans flag in there when I was raising money for the Trans Empowerment Project. Still counts, I'd say. But no, yeah. As you do, doing Jesus stuff, talking about the Bible here and there, making parody content, pissing off hateful people along the way, the death threats, and Voila.
Voila, there he is. There's our boy. Right. So
I'm
um
still standing.
this was a little bit of Scotty Wartooth in a nutshell for you, and his last 3 years trajectory, which has been a wild one over TikTok, Twitch. Are there any plans to migrate over to YouTube or make some YouTube content?
I'd like to, but I'm already doing like Twitch, TikTok, trying to make some content with the Dorian team actually. But I still work full time as it is, and I just don't have the time to focus on like another platform for like that sort of content besides reposting old shorts, to be
Hmm.
honest. So yeah,
And
not enough hours in the day.
long term is the plan to go full time in content creation.
Uh, Ideally, if I could, but I don't make anywhere near as much as people would imagine. Like TikTok is, well, TikTok. So,
Yeah, it's a complicated platform, and we'll get
mm,
into more about TikTok in just a second. But I've got some questions laid out that everyone kind of wanted to know a little bit. And the first one, which you probably get asked a lot, is what inspired you to create content on TikTok specifically, apart from the bullying, of
um,
course.
I mean, if I'm honest, I joined TikTok originally because a lot of people were doing cosplay content there, and I thought maybe I could do some videos like that as well. But if I'm honest, I didn't. I mostly started consistently posting because I was kind of burying my head in the sand from like real world shit, essentially. So that was kind of like TikTok was kind of like my escape, and I think in some way that kind of worked in my favor for getting off the ground a little bit because I was posting more for me, not strictly for other people. So yeah, they could see it, but I wasn't trying to appeal to algorithms. I wasn't trying to appeal to like what majorities want essentially. But by being, I think, genuine, just like being me, how I like, I think a lot of people kind of liked that because it wasn't just the same old format of like how people genuinely try to promote the content. So I think there was something a bit stood out with my content a little bit, perhaps.
Yeah, I think authenticity goes a long way, doesn't it? I was talking to
Mm.
another creator friend not long ago about how important it is to be yourself, regardless of what platform you're in. And as a content creator, your public can definitely tell when you're not being yourself. Do you also find that that's true?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, there is usually kind of a bit of a format for a lot of like very big sort of platforms, but I think a lot of people do get drawn to people that feel a bit more, real,
Mm.
essentially. Like it's a better way to actually connect with audiences, really. So yeah, I think that does help to an extent.
This is something that we might have touched, well, you touched upon a little bit earlier about the rainbow pride sort of champion that you are online,
Hmm.
and the fallback that you've had from that. Um, what does it mean to you to be this person that is a religious figure to so many? And what do you think makes it worthwhile for you to get all of this horrible stuff that you get thrown at you, but to be able to champion and sometimes even allow people who think that they are not allowed to believe in something bigger, um, that pride?
So, it was a complicated sort of one from the start, to be honest. Like for me, from the start, it was just a case of just supporting people like any decent human being should, to be honest. But I will admit, like from the start, I did slightly worry that my content was going to come across as just using LGBTQ plus like for likes and views and stuff. But I've never ever had that criticism from anyone, like never like from people who don't like my content or people who do. I found like once we actually came out of the lockdown, this was like the big sort of realization for me how much that meant to others when like yeah, because I said like most of my growth was during the lockdown, and before we went into lockdown, originally I was gonna stop going to like the big London con essentially like for good because of how expensive it was, and I didn't really feel like I belonged there very much as such. But I once we came out of the lockdown, I thought, you know what? Let's just go. Maybe I can meet a few people, maybe get a few photos here and there. And yeah, I got photos a lot, but it wasn't just the photos though. It was the amount of people that stopped to take the time to express how much my...
We've got a cut out as well. We've got an audio cut.
got them through the lockdown,
Just
which is
so you
something
know,
Yeah, go on.
you had an audio cut.
Oh, where was that
So you were just saying that you got a lot of photos, and it wasn't just the photos, and then it stopped there.
Oh, yeah. It was yeah, the amount of people like who stopped to take the time to express how much that content meant to them, and I still get that to this day. How like during the lockdown, my content helped them through like some of the hardest times. Like the fact that I'm still getting that in 2024 now it shows how much it genuinely does mean.
Yeah,
So
it can't be overestimated enough how much sometimes just a couple of minutes of that positivity or of that uplifting energy can mean to someone, isn't it?
yeah, it's like it kind of broke me a little bit by the time I got home. Just wow. And so that was quite a bit of a drive for me, to be honest.
Yeah. And the next question, we're gonna.
Knowing,
Oh, sorry, your audio cut out again.
oh, right, okay. Where was that at then?
You said about how much that meant to you, and then it cut out. You're frozen again, Scotty. Oh, there you go. Now you're moving.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was saying, like, it was not so much. Yeah, I just want. From the start, I just liked making people laugh here and there. But after that, it gave me like quite a drive for making content, for other people. Like the fact that I've got that platform. Um, I I think sometimes there is a case when some people kind of try to force and push creators into making content support one thing or another, regardless of how much they may even know on the subject. But I think, like, if you have the platform, I think there's definitely so much you can do with it. You can be a voice for so many people, to be honest. So I like being able to do that. Like,
Me
yeah,
personally, yeah, that's something that I really enjoy about your content and how it grew from being just light comedy to nowadays you kind of touch on very touchy subjects, even educating people with things like politics or how certain behaviors and or certain processes are acceptable and others are not. So
hmm.
again, that takes a lot of courage to call out stuff like that.
I think one thing I was going to mention earlier, I completely forgot. The blend of Christianity and LGBTQ plus. There's another element with that because a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community have had traumatic religious upbringings,
Mm-hmm.
and so that has left quite a scar, like for them. But having me kind of personify that in a much more positive light that they didn't get from like families at home, that's something that it's been helpful to a lot of people. Because while a lot of families like say, "Oh, it's a sin to be gay," it's like I'm there to basically say, no. Here's what they're referring to here. Here's where they're wrong on that. Here's the actual context. Here's why that's not the original word there, whatever. So I like being able to educate, but I like to try and be careful with what I say because there are some things on the internet, like rumors about the Bible and like homosexuality, which is actually, well, actually not true. And I don't mean just like what bigoted people say. There's like claims of, oh, it was actually talking about pedophilia, and I know very well that it's not. Um, I did a video on this a while ago to kind of say about here's a claim that gets talked about on the internet. This is where it comes from, and I'm sorry to bring the news. You know what I'm all about, but this is not true. Went into detail about why that was the case, and my video actually got reviewed by a biblical scholar.
And what did he say?
No notes. Literally, like so. This was Dan McClellan, actually,
Oh,
well-known Bible scholar on TikTok, and his entire thing is to tackle religious propaganda on TikTok, and he does this like on a daily basis, constantly. But he actually took my video And I saw this on my For You page, and I was thinking, oh my god, Dan's in a video of me. Oh my god, Dan's in a video of me. What have I said? Oh no. But he literally
Instant
played out the
panic.
yeah, but he literally played out the entire video and just ended with no notes, which was, I believe, the first time he'd ever done that.
That is
So,
beautiful. That is beautiful.
so yeah, I try and be careful, but yeah.
And stepping slightly away from the LGBTQIA plus, but not exactly.
Mm,
Obviously, at some point in the last couple of years, you found out and you discovered about yourself that you're asexual.
yeah.
How did you come to that, and like, what do you think was your thought process behind that? And with you being this champion for the LGBTQIA and also being a spokesperson for other ace people out there, what does that represent to you?
I mean, it's fairly recent discovery for me as such. I mean, I came out well, only last year, and I'm 29 as it is. Um, it took me quite a while to really sort of catch on to it because there's not a lot of representation for like asexuality. Like, yeah, it's at the end LGBTQIA, but there's not a lot spoken about that, and so because of that, I didn't really have any sort of like frame of reference for it myself, and I didn't really know anyone who was asexual either. So whenever I sort of had those questions, I didn't really know who to turn to on that, and eventually got talking to a few people and like learning about the definition, just thinking maybe that is me. And for like a good few years, I was just saying like, I'm a supporter, not strictly LGBTQ plus myself. But no, yeah, like some point last year, I was more of a case of maybe I actually am just ace. And it's a weird one because like for like the most like sort of time, I just thought I was like broken in some way. Because most people I did talk to about that just said like, oh, you've just never had sex. Like, trust me, it will kick in once you do. Like that's not helpful advice.
It really
But,
isn't, is it?
no, it's not. So that's partially why it took me so long to really catch onto that. But I didn't make a massive deal about it when I came out. I kind of just made a reference to it, like in like, sort of casual passing, essentially, on Facebook. And once I did that, I had about like 6 of my friends in my inbox, basically who it turned out they were also asexual as well. And I did a brief mention on TikTok, and it wasn't something that blew up, but there was a good few people in the comments saying like, "Oh my god, like you're ace too." And it wasn't really something that occurred to me, like how much that would have meant to people, and I should have done, given like how long I've been like doing that representation for LGBTQ plus in general. But I didn't really stop to think how much that would like personally mean to people to actually talk about that more. So I think last year I was actually asked to talk about my experience with it, and that it did mean a lot for other people. It helped other people who were questioning to kind of like get some sort of answers that they needed and didn't really know where to turn to either. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I think it's nice for them to be able to see someone with a public voice that they can relate to, and that feels very relatable, I suppose.
Hmm.
And I think that so many people who are ace probably had experiences similar to yours, where people turn around and go, "Oh no, it's fine. It'll kick in. You're gonna change." Like, and
Like no, just
it's who I am. It's here to stay. Look. um,
it's like if you must say something like that, it's like please at least just say maybe it's that or maybe you're just asexual. If you can at least put that into the conversation as well, don't just like make them feel like they are definitely broken until they like seal the deal or something like that. That's just not helpful.
it invalidates like what people
Yeah, this
are
is why
feeling.
like the representation matters because like you shouldn't have to find somebody who's also ace just to get those questions. You should be able to just like casually ask people, "I'm going through this. What do you think?" And they might say, "No, maybe you're asexual, perhaps." Like having the definition out there at the very least, like in like public eye, can be helpful for a lot of people. Otherwise, you get people like me, nearly in my 30s, not knowing until like now.
Speaking of others who might be ace, what would your message be to them, and in terms of self-discovery?
People who've not yet discovered, as in like,
Who might be questioning?
um, good question, really. I mean, it depends what exactly you want to know. Like, if it's whether you fit the category or not. I would say look up like the umbrella term, because you've got asexuality as it is, but you've got other sort of categories within that. You've got things like demisexual, like you're only like sexually attracted to those that you have a strong emotional connection with. Because there's a lot of people that would fit those sort of boxes, and like some people don't really like to like wave the label everywhere, but sometimes it's just helpful knowing that, it is perfectly normal to be in. So, just have a look at the definition. Maybe talk to a few people who are also ace and ask about their experiences if it really is bothering you that much. Kind of thinking, like, my whole life I thought I was just broken. Like, you're not. Like, that is, like, the worst part about it. If you don't have the representation, if you don't have...
Just 1 second, we've got audio issues again.
I promise you guys, there is not. Like, even people who are not asexual have all often said, like, sex is overrated. So
You're
it's
not
like
broken. It's fine.
yeah, it's perfectly okay to not be interested, because even non-asexual people say that it's overrated as it is.
We love that. Now, you have grown a really, really, really impressive following on TikTok, to over 8 million.
Under now, actually.
Oh, have you pissed
It's
off the
dropped.
TikTok gods?
Nah, I've been a bit buried in the algorithm for quite some time, so yeah.
The TikTok gods are just,
Yeah, I also don't post very much as it is, but no, the algorithm's changed and my content doesn't really fit the format that's usually required these days. But I'm still making the content I want. I'm not bending the knee to the TikTok gods. Like, my content's there. The people follow me because of the content I made, and no, they're even like, I mean, there's no point trying to change a format anyway. Like, I mean, there's one thing that people don't consider when it comes to growing on social media is having a viral video is all well and good, but if you get a swarm of people now following your account because of that specific content, and then you don't make that content, those people will not. They're not going. My content suited a certain format that was required back in the day. Did I freeze again?
Yes, you did. It's okay.
Yeah. Buried now as it is. But yeah, you got your followers for the content you were making, so trying to force yourself into the new algorithm, it isn't going to end well. Maybe as a gamble, but I'd say, you got your audience for what you do, and you know what you do best. So
stay true to yourself would be your message there for anyone within that predicament. We're frozen again.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. I said that staying true to yourself would probably be your advice for people within that predicament.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but I would say as well, don't.
I am really enjoying the faces that you are freezing at, because they're phenomenal faces.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say after I mentioned that staying true to yourself would be your advice?
Yeah, I was saying as well, like, if you're genuinely looking to grow on social media, don't rely on TikTok solely, because it's a great platform to get discovered, but in the long run on its own, you will fall off the algorithm. So if you're genuinely looking to grow, branch out, different platforms, and you can share audiences over, but if one platform dies, and it just might one day, then at least you'll have something else to retreat to, essentially. I wish I did that more back in the day. Less on everything else.
I gotcha. And how do you stay connected with your community?
I try and stay connected through like a Discord server. I try and go through live streams as well. Um, like if it's just like a personal, casual sort of live stream, or even just a Twitch streaming there, I like to have people's inputs. I like to give them plenty of toys to play with to jump scare me or the sound alerts, all that, because they love winding me up.
Baby shark,
And
doo 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 doo, baby shark, doo 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 doo, Scotty
well,
shark.
well, I had to.
We froze again.
Oh, fuck's sake.
What did you say? You had to?
I had to remove that sound from Twitch because I kept getting flagged for copyright.
Oh no! Even if it was just a couple of 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
It still flagged me. So yeah.
That is gross. My next question is, what's the most challenging part for you about being a creator?
Dealing with the backlash, I think it's something I've had to sort of get used to in a way. I think one thing I do want to make a video on some point to talk about more is like a lot of people ask me, how do you deal with like so much hate?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a case like exposure therapy, I think they call it, where like the more you expose yourself to it, the more you just like it just normalized to you. I think with this, thicken your skin a bit. Like a lot of people, like they'll get a negative comment and their instincts will just like they'll want to bite back for one reason or another, whether it's their own ego, whether it's to put some hateful person in their place. It's hard to not scratch that itch, but like the more frequently you get it, you might get to a point where like you might skip the odd comment or two because you end up waiting for a more interesting one to bite back at. And sooner or later you get to a point like with me where you're getting very selective of which ones you even bother responding to anymore. I still make public sort of video responses to some if they've got something interesting I can talk about, I can debunk. And when I do that, it's not the person itself I'm talking to, but it's everyone else who's kind of watching that can kind of learn from something. So, important issues. It could be like, LGBT related, it could be religion. I did one on Black Lives Matter a while ago, basically trying to go in depth about like a lot of people who don't understand the controversy behind, say, like the All Lives Matter sort of crowd. And I tried to explain in detail, like, because a lot of people were getting very angry, screaming racist, and a lot of people genuinely weren't understanding the controversy. So I tried to just like calmly explain, like, put yourself in the shoes of a black person. You go through racism on a daily basis. We all know this. Like, you can try and deny it, but we know it's there. Like, we have it in our comedy, and there's always an element of truth to it. So imagine you go through that on a regular basis, and then when your issues are finally actually being discussed in media, white people come along to say, but what about us? You've had your turn.
It's been about you for a while.
Like, yeah. It's that you don't need your turn. We are actually talking about a specific issue right now. So how do you think how do you think they're going to feel when you suddenly come about and try and take the conversation away from the issue they're actually talking about? Of course they're going to be upset about it. And it didn't blow up. There wasn't many people that saw it, but there was still a few people in the comments that basically just said, like, this is the first video I've seen that's actually took the time to explain it to me. Thank you. I call that a win. To be honest, if it actually gets through to anyone, that is a win. So
that is so true, because educating rather than hating is so important.
Yeah.
So important. How do you, because you seem to be spinning a lot of plates. You have a full-time job, you do a lot of content, you stream on Twitch. How do you manage to balance all of the demands from content creation, from TikTok, from Twitch, and also maintain a social life? How do you balance your online and your offline life?
I don't. I have my schedule for Twitch. I try and keep to here and there. I do that typically twice a week, unless I have an event on the weekend which I need like to spend the evening preparing for, perhaps. But it's hard for me to balance it out. Like most weekends, I'm away doing one thing or another, especially the festival season going. Like I've had Tewkesbury Medieval Festival. I had Fantasy Forest the weekend after, and then weekend after that I had Empire, which I've just come back from now, and now next weekend I'm going to Bloodstock Festival. I don't exactly make it easy for myself,
No, you don't.
but no. TikTok content though, I haven't been doing as much for it lately. I used to just like when I did, I would film like a bunch of videos in one go so that I could gradually post them like over like the next few days, rather than trying to film something every night. But I haven't done much on TikTok lately, so I'm mostly just trying to like just sort of slow things down generally a bit and try and reinvent my schedule a little bit, because I mentioned earlier I'm basically in talks with the Dorian team for a special little project which I'm going to have to try and work out a
Ooh,
schedule for.
very cool.
Yeah, this will certainly interest a few people and also potentially piss off a lot of others as well.
Oh dear.
So,
Oh dear.
as if my TikTok wasn't bad enough, they're gonna love me now.
Death threats incoming. But
They are gonna be. I'm gonna have like torches and pitchforks outside my door in no time.
I have no
It's gonna be like the
doubt.
Simpsons movie with the whole angry mob outside the door.
So, what would be your advice to somebody that's also a creator but feels a bit of a slump? They don't really know what to post, they don't really feel the motivation. And this can be someone who has been doing content for a while or someone who's recently started. What would be your advice to find
Sorry.
inspiration and motivation?
Okay. To find inspiration and motivation. Ooh. That's a good question. It really depends on the platform, what exactly they're doing. I think, um, like on TikTok, for example, if you're trying to stay relevant, I guess it just helps to keep up with the latest trends. Well, unfortunately, politics is one. But I don't know. I think on social media, generally, for some inspiration, it does take a lot of like keeping your ear on the ground, essentially, to like listen up on what's been going on, learn about the frustrations of other people. If you want to like reach out to other people making content that helps them, um, learn to listen more to their frustrations, and well, it's a case of educating yourself. Learning from other people can help yourself become whole, and in that, you can then find ways to inspire other people as well, I think.
That's a piece of advice that whenever someone talks to me about content creation across platforms, it's something that I tell them. If you do not watch that platform, there's a very low chance that you're going to be able to make content for that platform. Because if you don't interact, if you don't enjoy that platform, you're not going to understand it well. It's like content creators are just like doctors. You don't fall out of bed and go, I'm a doctor today. And a content creator is the same thing. You do need to learn your
Mm.
craft, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And what would you say? Uh, how do you touched upon this earlier about how you basically handle the pressure of the negative comments. How do you is there like a self-care process that you go through apart from literally just growing a thicker skin?
No, and there probably should be. um, I don't know. I try and make sure I've got plenty of time to sort of like relax as it is.
Would you say you also have a strong support system?
I definitely got the support where I need it. Uh, I don't tend to ask very much for like emotional support, because I mean, if I'm honest, I'm mostly emotionally numb as it is at this point. So things like that don't tend to bother me much these days. But I know that if I do need it, I've got it right there. I've got my Discord server, I've got my regulars, I've got my moderators who already do like so much for me as it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always there if I need it.
Wonderful. That's what we like to hear. And what do you like to do when you're offline?
To wind down, same as anybody else, really. I like to just like I'll bury my head in some games here and there. Maybe watch a series here and there. Maybe just make some content for a laugh. Maybe focus on some cosplay stuff, perhaps.
What are some
Um,
of your favorite cosplays that you've done?
Pirates are definitely like the top for me. Like I love doing the Jesus content as it is, but I have the most fun like with the pirate content. I've been doing festivals for the last few years as it is. Well, actually about a decade, but I do it several times a year. So it's something I've put a lot of money into. It's got a great community in it as it is.
You have
But
amazing pirate coats, and some of them are like 500
yeah,
pounds plus.
about 250 I've paid for the coats. About same for a hat I've paid. I mean, I've got thousands of pounds worth of gear as it is, weaponry, coats, um, all sorts. I mean, you guys should see the sword I bought just this weekend gone.
Oh wow.
Um, that is more expensive than any coat I've bought. Uh,
Exciting.
and it's only a LARP one as well. So Dragon Armory's for you.
It's funny because me personally, the content that I prefer from you is the cosplay stuff. I love your Star Wars stuff. I absolutely adore your pirate
mm.
stuff. But you've mentioned this before when we've hung out that it's not the most popular.
No, again, it's like it's a sudden change to the content I make. People follow me for the Jesus stuff, not for random pirate stuff. There've been a couple of videos that done okay, but generally when I post something like that, most people would sort of scroll instantaneous. So, like, I still like doing the sort of content, but it's a lot of gear to put on for me to be basically pissing into the wind. So,
Pissing into the wind. What a way of describing that. I love it. My next
yeah.
question is, what advice would you give to someone who's starting out on TikTok nowadays in 2024?
Like I said before, branch out to other platforms. Don't if you're looking to grow as a content creator, don't rely solely on TikTok. TikTok is a platform that can be great for all sorts, but it's mostly great for getting discovered. You might get a high, perhaps, but there it will come down sooner or later. Um, Unless you can force yourself into relevancy, which is usually the politics sort of route, which is a headache for any
Mm.
content creator. And there's all sorts with like TikTok that can go wrong. Like as soon as you take a break for like mental health reasons, anything like that, suddenly you're throwing yourself off the algorithm. So
Mm.
that's what's happened with me a couple of times here and there. So
Or even if you
yeah,
post
it's
a
a
video that's slightly different from what you normally post, like the algorithm will
mm,
bury you straight away.
yep. TikTok says that they like creators with diverse content, but
They
no, they
don't.
don't.
They don't.
They really don't. It's like you've got to force yourself into making the same sort of content that people followed you for originally. You've got to stay relevant in the algorithm, and yeah, we are already at a point where like, a lot of creators are just not getting seen by their own audiences, and TikTok is trying to like persuade us to pay money to get more views. And it's like, no, TikTok, I will not give you money to be seen by my own followers. Thank you very much.
It's ridiculous.
So
Um,
yeah, branch out and don't rely too much on TikTok if you genuinely want to grow as a creator.
what would you say is your offline secret to your self care? Because you always, I've never seen you with a hair out of place. You always have lustrous, lush hair. The beard's always perfect. Your skin's always taken care of. So, what is the secret, Scotty, to looking like Scotty Wartooth offline?
I don't really have one, to be honest. I mean, people have often asked about my hair, saying, "What's your hair care routine?" So it's like, just
Wash
shampoo.
it.
Just keep it clean. I mean, I've had my days of shoveling products into it, but like, I find that you spend more money than it's even worth. Like, just keep your hair healthy and clean, and that's really all you need to do. I've taken a chunk off my hair because I didn't look after it. It used to be like down to there. And I got split ends and everything. It was so messy. So I'm at a point where I've had to cut a chunk off to let it grow back healthy again. But
So basically,
otherwise,
what you're saying is that your self-care routine is I was born this way.
I don't know. I mean, like, see me like without my filters, and then we'll talk. But
There
no,
is
I
no
just think
filter on right now.
maybe I have one on my end here. But no. But no, I don't really have much on that. Just just keep yourself like hygienic, like washed, refreshed here and there. And I mean, I work outdoors as it is. Like
Yeah.
on days like this, like you need a cold shower at the end of the day. Just wash your
Or
ass
five.
daily.
Or five. Or five.
Yeah, yeah, just wash your ass daily.
It's not
Like
okay. It's not okay to be this hot in the UK, Not okay at
no.
all.
I mean, I used to call summer our favorite day of the year in this country, but now we can't quite say that. I've never known it so hot for this long.
It wasn't normally.
Mm. Global
Now,
warming for you people. Global warming.
the next one is a little bit of a deeper question. So,
Right.
from someone Ace, do you see
Oh.
yourself in the future with someone having an emotional relationship, or how do you picture your life? Do you believe in marriage and all of that stuff?
Um, I'd like to think maybe. I kind of stopped dating a couple of years ago, to be honest. I haven't tried dating since coming out as Ace. I kind of gave up a little bit, to be honest. I decided my time was spent better spent focusing on myself, what I wanted to do with myself, trying to put some money away, to be honest. And I just like I'm nearly in my 30s at this point, and I found so much of my time wasted like trying to date. And at this point, I just can't be fucked anymore. I think in the future, maybe I'd like to like find somebody to settle down with. Maybe that's marriage. I don't. Um, I think there is something beautiful about it. I mean, I've literally performed a hand fasting ceremony for a couple
I
myself.
remember
There is
that.
something, yeah, there is something like beautiful about it. But I mean, when I was a lot younger, it used to be kind of like a personal sort of goal of mine. Whereas now, I just think
If it
maybe.
comes, if it
But
comes, it comes.
yeah, if somebody if a special somebody comes along my way, then we'll see where that goes. So be it. But it's not.
It's not a priority.
No, oh, frozen again, haven't I?
Yeah, I kind of completed your chain of thought that he was like, it's not a priority right now. I think we're frozen again.
Oh bugger.
But
Oh dear.
what do you look for in a partner then? Oh, what a nice mug. Norway.
Oh, froze again. So what was the question?
What do you look for in a partner? Or what would you look for in a partner? You're frozen. Froze.
Hello?
You're now back on.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, signal dropped in the Discord chat for a sec there. Sorry, what was the question?
What? Me saying that you freezing is honestly the funny screenshot. It's each frame that you've frozen at has been like comic relief. Like it's great. It's great.
It's gonna have to be like a thing later. The many faces of TikTok Jesus. For, like,
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a meme out of it, like that, exactly like that. Look at that. Like, we're gonna have to put like some kind of like phrase underneath each phase, each face, facial expression. Hello, welcome back. I have a feeling it might be your internet. No, not welcome back.
What's going on there?
I think you're back now.
Yeah, the Discord signal keeps dropping there for some reason.
That's
But I
so
think we're back to
bizarre.
now.
I
Right.
think
Okay.
it might be your internet that's struggling a little bit for some reason.
Right. So while we're back on now, what was the question again?
What would you look for in a partner?
Oh yeah. I don't know, to be honest. I've always like just found that people can surprise you.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people who actually like found their well,
So,
forever partner, I guess. Yeah, I think for most people that actually found that significant other there, I don't think a lot of them would say that they found that by sticking to preferences. I think
mm-hmm.
like yeah, I think a lot of people experiment with dating, see like what works and what doesn't. But I think I don't know. Like whenever I think I've got some sort of a preference, some
Whenever you think you've got some form of a preference.
oh, I see. Yes, okay, okay, yeah. I think yeah. Whenever like I find, like, whenever like I think I've got some sort of a preference, some people might come along and you just think,
You just think, and then that facial expression, wonderful. Right, we're gonna move on to the next segment, and you
right.
have to try and guess whether this is real and or not real. But not only do you have to try and guess, you have to try and advocate for what you're saying and explain why it's real or why it's not real. And then afterwards, we're gonna find out if it is or if it isn't. Okay?
The audio cut out for me
Cut
just
out.
there. I didn't
Okay.
hear what that was.
So basically, for this segment, it's called real or not real. I'm going to give you a fact. You have to decide whether it's real or not real. But not just that, you have to advocate for the fact and explain how it happened as if you were an expert on the subject.
Okay.
So the first one, real or not real? TikTok was the most downloaded app globally in 2023.
2023. Um. So I have to talk about that like it's a fact.
If you think it's a fact, or if you think it's, so you gotta first decide whether you think it's real or not real. If it is real, you have to talk and explain why it is. And if it's not real, then you have to say why it isn't and give plausible explanations as to why it isn't.
I think it's likely true. I think one thing that would have helped with that was the lockdown itself, because like for me, like I said, for me, it was kind of prime moment almost for my growth and a lot of other people as well, because while we were all sort of shut indoors, frozen.
Yes.
People turn to content creators for new. Oh, for fuck's sake! Is it still freezing
You're
again?
fine.
People turn to content creators for fresh content here and there, and a lot of content creators suddenly had that extra time to make that content. So there was quite a massive like demand for new fresh content essentially. So I think yeah, the COVID in some way would have boosted a lot of popularity for TikTok. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if that was the case.
So, it is in fact real. And your explanation was actually pretty much spot on. The
Hmm.
next fact is the longest stream on Twitch lasted 356 consecutive days.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that being the case somewhere. Uh, Maybe I'm thinking something else, but I'm pretty sure I heard that happen somewhere. I don't know how to talk about that one as a fact. That's I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there is definitely someone out there who's at least tried that just for a world record attempt or something, just so that they could be like the guy who's referred to as like held like the longest stream ever. Like we
So,
content creators, we gotta try like new
we
things
gotta,
all the
yeah,
time.
we throw a lot of shit at the fan to see what sticks. So, you think it's
Yeah,
real?
I think so. Yeah.
No, it is not real. So the longest Twitch stream consecutively was 195 days, and it was by the streamer Ludwig.
Not heard of them, but fair enough. Like, I was kind of thinking, like, to be fair, like, I don't. How long does an internet signal last before it drops? Like, mine certainly would not last 360 days.
I couldn't do it. I could not even do. I do 24-hour streams and I'm dying. Can you imagine streaming for 195 days? That would be insane.
I was like, yeah, I'm off to work now. Like, just watch my cat for me.
Now, the next, real or not real? YouTube will introduce a feature allowing users to tip comments with cryptocurrency in late 2024. That's a bit weird, right? Tipping comments?
I thought cryptocurrency was kind of dying out at this point. Like you heard a lot about it like a year ago or two, and like now it just seems like it's not a popular thing anymore, like NFTs or.
So you think it's not real that YouTube wouldn't do that?
I think they could, but it just seems like if they were going to do that now, is not really an ideal time.
Well, Scotty, I will have you know that is actually real.
Oh.
YouTube is implementing that in towards the end of this year, and I find that's very strange, and I'm kind of like looking forward to see how that works. But there are some like comments on YouTube which are so interesting, so it'd be cool to see that. Now,
fair enough.
Real or not real, the most watched TikTok live stream holds a record of 2 million concurrent viewers.
Probably Bella Porch or something, wasn't it?
Would you say that's real?
Sure. I mean, if I can get 2,000 viewers, like, if I can get that, like 2,000, I'm pretty sure somebody must have got 2 million.
So, real or not real? Not real. So
okay.
The most TikTok live stream was actually 3.7 million concurrent viewers by 1.2 billion. Sorry, what?
Well,
yep. So the most watched TikTok live holds a record of 3.7 million concurrent viewers by somebody called 1.2B. Do you know that person?
Again, never heard of them.
I got no idea who that is either, but that was the account. Now,
fair enough. Fair play to them.
Our fact number 5, YouTube's CEO once hosted a live Q&A while skydiving.
Not heard of that.
Can you host a Q&A while skydiving? Has anybody ever done that?
Like, what kind of device would you be using for the internet signal to do that? It's like, I can't... Nah, I'm not.
So that is, in fact, not real.
Yeah.
So the YouTube CEO did host a Q&A, but it was not while skydiving. It was actually the YouTube creator channel discussing the platform developments. And now to the fun part and my favorite part out of the segment. We know that you're a bit of a music buff and you have great taste in music whenever we've hung out. And you've played me some right bangers. So we're going to test your music ability on this one. So me and everyone in chat have to try and guess what tune that you are humming, or you can't sing it out, but if you have a toy instrument or you have anything around you that you can make some noise with, you can use it. And then you got to play the tune and we have to guess what it is.
I'm not reaching out for the mandolin right now.
Oh, do it! Do it!
No, I don't think I'll be able to play that for anything here.
You just gotta so choose a tune and go ahead and perform it. You can beatbox. What do you call it?
I would not be able to beatbox that. I don't know how loud the humming is going to go through a microphone here.
Would you like me to go first?
Sure.
Does that help? Okay, cool. Okay, I've got a tune. You ready? Are you ready? The confusion.
I could partially hear that. Just tapping. I couldn't quite make that out though. No, I don't think the mic picked up half of that.
Okay, so we're gonna try and hum it instead.
You cut out on my end there. I couldn't. No idea.
He's just trying to make me do this again. I'm joking. Right?
It cuts out my end there.
We're
but,
gonna try it again.
No idea.
Anybody want to try and guess? All right, I'm gonna give you a hint, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna give you the genre, and then I'll do it again. Okay? It is heavy metal.
Okay.
And it is UK heavy metal. Ready?
Okay.
Nothing?
No.
Okay, so we didn't get that one. It was not Fear of... Yes! So Mark got it. It was Run to the Hills. Run to the Hills.
Oh, okay.
Your turn.
I don't know how loud that came through.
I know what it is. I know what it is. I can't remember the name. It's oh my god, do it again. I know what it is. I can't. It's power metal, isn't it?
Close. Yeah. Yeah. I think.
I
yeah.
would say it's power metal, but I can't remember the name of the song. Mia's saying it's Sabaton. Is it Sabaton?
No, actually.
Is it Ailstorm?
No.
Okay, then I don't know what it is. Is it?
I might have played it for you in the car one time. It's actually Powerwolf.
Powerwolf!
Incense and Iron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What a tune! What a tune! My turn. So this one was good. It's gonna be quite easy. Okay.
All right. Okay, I know. Yeah, if you want to be my lover. I can't remember who sung that one, to be honest.
Spice Girls!
Oh, is it Spice Girls? Okay, yeah.
Yes! Your turn, Scotty. Go for it. Wait, hold on. You, so you have 1 point and I have 1 point.
Okay.
Wait, no, I don't have a point. I haven't guessed yet. So you have a point, so you're winning.
Okay, I'm still trying to think. I suck at being put on the spot. Damn it.
Metallica, right?
Yes. I thought that would be an easy one.
Yes, I got it. Let's go.
So now you do have a point.
I do have a point. Let's go. Now it's your chance to take the lead again.
Fuck you.
You're
You're
a fucking wanker. We're gonna punch you right in the balls. Fuck
Flip
you.
you. You're a silly sausage. We're gonna poke you right in the leg.
I love that version. I had never seen it before.
It's like it's the radio friendly version.
I love it. It's great. Right, your
Okay.
turn. Last round. This is
Ooh.
it. Oh, actually, no. If I guess this one, we have to go to another deciding round. If not, you've won.
Fuck. What can I do? What can I think of here?
Do it again.
Very.
We got nothing.
It's actually a video game.
Oh, okay. It's from a video game.
It's a very popular one.
Very popular from a video game. Is it Baldur's Gate?
No, but same kind of genre, I suppose.
Ooh, do it again. No, we got nothing. What is it?
Okay. It is The Witcher.
Oh my god! Nice. Very, very nice.
I suppose I could have tried to whistle that one, maybe. It's Spikeroo, I think the title of the song is, but it's like the casual sort of like song, you know, like sort of roaming around the entire area.
So this this segment, okay, it's called Slide or Hide.
Okay.
So meaning, we're gonna bring a photo up of someone, and you have to say if you were asked to hang out with them, whether you would slide into their DMs or whether you would hide.
So you cut off and so you're going to bring up a photo.
So I'm going to bring up a photo of someone, right? And you have to decide whether you would slide into their DMs to hang out or go to a party or make some content together, whether you'd hide from them at a party.
Okay.
So image number 1. Slide or hide.
Slide for a drink, maybe.
By the way, who is it? It's Tom Hardy, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. You would slide for a drink. Why do you think he's interested?
I don't know. He's an amazing actor as it is, but seems like a decent bloke in person.
He does seem like a cool guy, actually, to be fair. He seems like a decent person. So, Tom Hardy from Scotty Wartooth is a slide. Now, person number 2, we're still on the topic of celebrities, just so you know. Whoops. Hold on. Number 2. Slide or hide, Emma Watson.
Slide, to be honest. Like, Emma Watson, she's fantastic. Like, I think as a person, genuinely, I mean, isn't she? She's like an ambassador for like women's representation. Is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like.
She's incredible.
Absolutely,
She's an
like,
absolutely
yeah.
gorgeous human being inside and out.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
No, just fantastic person. Like, generally, like one who's not afraid to give a big F you to JK.
Very true as well.
Hmm.
So from Scotty Wartooth, Emma Watson is a slide. And next person up, slide or hide.
Let's see. Oh. Can I just slide? Can I slide these two fingers into her DMs? Like,
So, Amber.
I mean, I'm just looking at a jar of dirt right now. So
Amber Heard is not a slide. It's a hide.
yeah.
A hide and runaway, not just a hide. Right, next person up. Lindsay Lohan.
I know of her. I know bugger all about her. I probably watched a film with her in it at some point, but I have no idea.
Slide, hide, indifferent.
Indifferent, I suppose.
She had a phase where she was going through a lot, but I think that like she was a lot of people's teen, like, I don't know, wanna be like, especially for people who are older like me.
Okay.
Did you ever see Parent Trap with her? No. Slide or hide?
Pirate Trap, what?
Parent Trap.
No.
But this lovely gentleman, slide or hide?
Hang on. Oh, God.
Boris Johnson, slide or hide?
I haven't got enough middle fingers for this one, to be honest. I actually have, I had at least. I had some Boris Johnson toilet paper for a while.
Did you?
Yeah. It was just sitting there in the bathroom for a while because, yeah, none of us wanted him to touch our asses, to be honest. So it's like I wouldn't even wipe my ass with this. Just
it stayed there. It stayed there until it needed absolutely to be an emergency toilet paper.
It's like big hide.
Big hide, hide and run away. Who would you prefer to have dinner with, Amber Heard or Boris Johnson?
I'd suppose Boris Johnson, at least. Oh God.
Slide or hide.
Okay, I know where I'm gonna slide this up. No, big hide, big hide. I'm not Donald Trump.
What are you talking about? Shit. He's self-nominated the sexiest man alive.
I'm sure he is. No, big hide.
So for Kim Jong-un, no, it's Kim Jong-un, right?
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un is a big hide from Scotty Wartooth. Ready for the next one?
Oh, let's see.
Rhea Ripley, slide or hide?
She the one from WWE?
Yes,
So.
mommy.
Slide, I guess?
Slide, you guess? I love her. I'm obsessed with her.
I haven't really followed much of WWE for a while, to be honest. I think I've seen her reposted by mostly women.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of girls definitely simp over her. She's like a lot of people's gay panic, I suppose. So, slide for Rhea Ripley.
Sure.
What about... Do you recognize this person?
No idea.
That is Tony Hawk.
Oh, okay.
Slide or hide?
I don't think I'd have anything to talk about, to be honest.
You didn't have a skateboarder phase.
I played some skateboarder games, but I think I played a couple of Tony Hawk's games, but I never really had a visual sort of idea of Tony Hawk's in general. I don't know.
So it wouldn't be your thing necessarily.
Tony Hawk's Underground, I think, was a childhood sort of classic, but
He had such an
yeah.
amazing soundtrack.
But no, I only really sort of knew him from the title of like games. I never really actually ever saw him skate.
So Tony Hawk, hide.
I'd just say meh.
Meh.
Bit
Indifferent.
indifferent.
Now we have two content creators or internet people.
Okay.
Mr. Beast.
Oh, is that him?
Uh-huh.
I've never watched a video of his, to be honest. Uh, indifferent, I guess.
So what I find interesting about him, it's the fact that isn't he kind of problematic. I didn't think he was. Not that I know of. Keep him to the curb, they're saying. Chat doesn't like it. So much bad publicity about his Amazon show. Amazon show? What happened?
He has a show?
I didn't even know. So
I guess I'm not really that educated on like YouTube creators, to be honest, so I don't know.
Chat is saying to hide. Anyway, chat doesn't like it.
I'll take their word for it then.
So, right. So, Mr. Beast, hide. And last but not least, Belle Delphine.
I've already hung out with her. Like I've been to house parties with her actually, so yeah, I'd say she's already a friend of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I put it on, because obviously I knew that you guys were friends, so I was just like, that would be the definite slide. But I think that one of the cool things about it is I think that the image that people project of her is so different from who she actually is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of like the social media stuff I don't really follow as it is, but like, no, she's a really nice person, like in person as it is. So
yeah. All right, cool. Scotty, do you have anything that you would like to share with everyone? Something that you're doing? Any streams coming up? Any like important streams coming up, or anything like that? Or what would you like to finish on a certain note, or send a message out to everybody?
I suppose I did mention earlier about my me being in talks with the Dorian team. For people who don't know, they're a company that basically do sort of online free-to-play games, essentially. Simple ones, things like dating simulators, that sort of thing, where sort of creators can sort of come on, bring on their sort of personal sort of like characters and make sort of games around that. And I've been in talks with them to create a Jesus dating simulator.
Oh my God.
This is going to be both casual and spicy. So I can't show much on the screen at the moment where this is sort of going, because I have a visual depiction of what this Jesus is going to be. It's going to be I want to give people sort of multiple choice of the way they want this to go. Episode 1, I will just say we're going to start off with the simple concept of asking him on a date. We can go a simple route, or we can try and go a very spicy route. And things shall develop from there. So
this is awesome.
Again, this will be a free-to-play game, but there are ways like to sort of monetize with this. So like there will be some additional choices to like sort of pay for extra bits here and there, but it is free to play as a game. So
that is amazing. That is such a cool thing.
Yeah, it's something that I may be able to sort of help financially support myself with a lot more than TikTok, and it's a project I'm very excited to actually get going. So they're quite excited to have me on as well. There's some amazing creators on board, and
are you going to voice it over as well?
But I I don't think there are games like that with voiceovers, but there are live streams we can do to interact as the characters we sort of put out there. So I can do some sort of dating simulator live streams on there. We might in future be able to do some D&D sort of live streams on there as well, because I don't have to do the one character. The more successful this gets, the more characters I can incorporate into this. And I've got a few ideas I'd like to try and put in as well, depending on how well the Jesus idea goes. So, yeah, I think people will be able to have a lot of fun with this one.
If you had to ask Jesus out on a date, how would you invite Jesus out on a date?
How would I do it? See, I would love to say, like, just slide into the DM and just say, "I'm sorry, Daddy, I've been a bad girl." Just for him to say, "It's forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." But for you, I might just play along.
I love that. 10 out of 10.
But it's me we're talking about, so at the same time, we asexuals, we can have the dirtiest minds, and people know that we're joking.
It's the jokes, like, so it's just a joke. Sorry, hon. Right, Scotty, thank you so much for being part of the launch of Offline. I absolutely had a blast hanging out with you, but I always do. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Hopefully so. Maybe at some point I'll get a co-host or something at some point.
Heck yeah.
Receive my availability at some point.
We've been talking about this. So we will be you will see a lot more of Scotty, availability pending. Because we are RL buddies, obviously.
Aye. Hopefully my signal will be doing better by then.
Oh my god, been the internet provider.
Yeah, BT for you.
Oh no.
Anywho.
Thank you so much, Scotty, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, thanks for having me on. See you guys.
Bye bye.